In 1916, St. Louis children pooled their pennies to buy the St. Louis Zoo its very first elephant. Public historian Adam Kloppe tells us how much they raised and what they received for their contributions.
For many St. Louisans, a summer really isn't complete without a visit to the St. Louis Zoo to visit one of the 18,000 plus animals that they have there, that they care for, and there's so many animals that people connect with, penguins and lions and hippos and rhinos and all sorts of animals, but the favorite of so many people is the elephants, right? And the St. Louis Zoo is home to 9 elephants today, and they take such fantastic care of those elephants. But there's a history to elephants at the St. Louis Zoo that a lot of us don't think about. So the St. Louis Zoo dates its history back to 1910. That's when the St. Louis Zoological Society was formed. And over the next several years, they were in Forest Park, they were adding new facilities, getting everything ready for different animals to be brought in. And in 1916, they had things set up to bring in the zoo's first elephant. In order to do this, they wanted to raise some funds so they could purchase an elephant from a circus. And so they reached out to St. Louis City school children and asked them to donate pennies to a fund so that the zoo could buy its very first elephant. And these children really responded. They raised over $2,300 in pennies. That'd be over $50,000 today. It's a lot of money. And the zoo used that money to purchase their first elephant. And they had already said that because they had worked with the schools to get those children to donate the money, that the first elephant would be named after the school board president, a guy by the name of James Harper. And they were going to call the elephant Jim. And they purchased their first elephant, and it's a female. But everyone had already fallen in love with the name Jim, so they decide they're gonna call this elephant Miss Jim. And Miss Jim arrives in April of 1916. And thousands of people show up in Forest Park the day she arrives to watch her parade through Forest Park. And the school children are really excited. There's reports in the newspapers that they're all pointing at the elephant saying, oh, my Pennies bought part of the trunk, or my Pennies bought her tail, or whatever it is. They just really connected to this elephant instantly. And they continued to connect with this elephant over the years. Back then, people could go on rides on the elephant at the St. Louis Zoo. So kids would show up to the zoo and they would go for rides on Miss Jim's back. It's estimated that she gave over 300,000 people rides between 1960 and when she was retired from giving rides in the 1940s when she got a little bit older. And when she passed away later in the 1940s, thousands of people in St. Louis were in mourning. They had really connected with this animal and connected with, the conservation efforts and the animal care that were provided at a place like the zoo.
To learn more about the Missouri Historical Society, visit mohistory.org.